Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I am absolutely delighted you have found me, and I'm equally delighted that you have joined me. So, I have a question. The debates are over, right? We've gone through all 20 of them and listened to what they had to say. And Trump is at the G20, making an ass of himself. He, warned Putin in the strongest possible terms. So, my question today is, what is it that Americans most need to keep sort of front and foremost? What is it that they need to keep their eye on? You got to keep your eye on the ball. So the question is, what's the ball? What is it that you most need to think about, realize, remember, focus on? So let's ask Spirit and Tarot what the answer to that question is. Here we go. Best guidance. Best guidance. Best guidance. Sometimes in the middle of the hustle and bustle and the trying to understand stuff and trying to get a handle on it, we sort of lose perspective of where we should be going, what direction we should actually be moving in. So, this is what I'm going to tell you from these cards right now. There are many of you Americans who feel as if not only was the election stolen because of, the electoral college and popularity and that kind of thing, those votes, but because on a really fundamental level, he's an illegitimate president. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Yeah, you can say, he won the votes. That's fine. But he won the votes because there were bad actors helping him win the votes. And more importantly, just the other day, apparently, there was some information that came out from, I guess it was the intelligence people, who said basically, okay, well now, not only is it Russia that's going to be interfering in the 2020 elections, but keep your eyes on Iran and China. That's a lot of people, helping him, wanting to keep him in place because they feel that his style of presidency is helpful to them. Okay, well, that's delightful, except that these are not your allies. So the very people who are trying to keep, Trump in office are the exact people that you should be most afraid of. A lot of people, a lot of Americans just feel trapped. They feel so almost powerless. They're not quite sure what direction to go in. It's just a really hard place to be in, emotionally, mentally, and given some of the, disastrous policies, physically. There's actually a physical impact to what is going on with him and some of the stuff he has done. I guess what you're being told, the most important message is you have to keep your eye on the prize. It's going to take a lot of work to accomplish what you want. You can't just say, well, I hate him and everybody should hate him and he's bad for the country, so everybody will vote the way we want them to vote. It's not going to work that way because you know what? The Republicans have waited for a really, really long time to get into that position of power, and they are going to defend it at all costs. They're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that the election is slanted in their favor. I mean, just the other day, there was talk about the fact that there was a bill that was passed to really, really try to tighten up security for the election. And Mitch McConnell, not surprisingly, is blocking it. He doesn't want to take it. What the hell? Come on, this is your national security and he's playing politics? He just doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to go that way. It's ridiculous. But that's actually the energy that you are dealing with. It's, you know what? It's not enough that the truth is going to come out over the course of this next 18-month cycle. You know, right? I mean, he's going to show himself, especially once you get into sort of the general election debates where he's on stage, making a fool of himself. The truth isn't going to be enough. It's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and an understanding that going forward, there has to be that sort of continual observation, continually watching and paying attention to what it is the government does. And that is, city, county, state, federal, whatever, all the levels of government that you have. It needs to be on all levels. The gerrymandering decision out of the Supreme Court is a real shame, because the people who are supposed to fix it are the very ones who don't want to fix it because it's working in their favor. So there just needs to be some real, citizen involvement, right? People need to get involved and kind of stay involved. And frankly and honestly, that's really true about citizens globally. I think overall, there's elections going on around the world. Canada will have theirs in September, October. And it's like there really is this shift to the right, and it needs to be balanced and taken to a more center place. There is great strength in numbers. There is great strength in the ability to move forward. There is always hope. The stained glass window, there is always hope, as long as there is hard work and focus and attention. One of the things that appears to be a wee little bit of a concern is that a lot of people are trying to treat this situation, particularly the Republicans, but they're trying to treat the situation as this is a normal election. This is a normal administration. What is the matter with you people? You're just always like fussing. You just don't like the guy, and there's nothing wrong with how he's conducting himself. But because you have these like 20 candidates for presidency right now, it's creating a little bit of sort of boutique politics, right? And people are focusing in on, this guy's for the environment, and that's my priority. And this guy is for, immigration policy, and that's my priority. And this guy is about, Medicare for all, and that's my priority. I understand that. I don't minimize any of it. Those are all really important things that need to be addressed. But if you get over-focused on the details, you tend to miss the forest, for the trees. The primary focus of this election must be get him out of office. It's just that simple. You have to sort of keep your eye on that bigger picture. And I understand that you don't want history to repeat itself, and I understand that you want this to not happen again. But what you need to understand is, in order to make that a reality, there has to be a complete focus on making that a reality. It's the basics of manifestation. Um, you know, if you want something to happen, you don't talk about it in terms of I want and I need. You talk about it in terms of this is truth. This is reality. So, I'm going to give you kind of a random example. Let's say you are looking for, you know, financial security, right? Or financial abundance, or you're trying to increase, you know, your cash flow. You don't focus on, I need this, I want this, and you don't focus on all the reasons why you need and want it. You simply send out the message to the universe that says, thank you for the abundance in my life in all forms. You speak about it as a accomplished fact, and you put in the gratitude and the emotions that are going to push that energy forward. One of the things that is, you know, just from a sort of an esoteric, from an energy level, on some level, I actually think that part of the reason that Trump actually got elected was because there was so much resistance to him. The universe often does not speak in terms, it's like they don't get negatives. So if you say, I don't want him, if you cancel out the negative word, you end up with the statement of, I want him. Try to remember that the universe really doesn't deal in negatives. They deal in absolutes, in concretes. That's why when you're going to make a statement about abundance, it's here now. And this is kind of a really cool thing. Just think about this for a second. The words here now mean it's present, it's here. There's not a need, a want, or a desire. It's in place. And that's how you function. That's how you go forward. So be careful of those sorts of thoughts because they're important and they're powerful. And I, you know, I just want people to just sort of be mindful of that because it has a really huge impact going forward. So, so far, be very careful of your thoughts and the words and the phraseology you use, and don't get distracted by, you know, the distractions. Keep your eye on the ball. Stay focused. If your main priority and imperative is to get this guy out of office, that's your priority. It's not, let's get him out of office, and while we're doing that, let's also get all of these other things that haven't been dealt with for the last 50 and 60 and 100 years or whatever it is. We're going to address those too. Pay attention to the fact that honestly, whoever takes over office in 2021, assuming Trump is out, which is, you know, the general consensus, they're going to have so much stuff to fix. They just really are going to need everything that they can do to erase, to roll back, and to correct and ensure doesn't happen again the damage that he has done, and frankly, the damage that Mitch McConnell has done. You people in America, you need to take control of that Senate, because if you don't, it's going to be a repeat of Obama's last 4 years, where Mitch McConnell just said no to everything, and he continues to do it now. If it comes from a Democrat, the answer's no. Now, trust me, Mitch McConnell's going to pay for that. But until, you know, karma and justice work their way around, you need to take the power back and say, yeah, we're going to ensure that you don't have that kind of abusive power and control over us. Okay, and we have the Tower card. So what this is saying is there is, it's actually in this way, in this situation, it's actually a really positive card, because what it's saying is you have the emotions, you have the resources, you have the intensity with the, you know, the Nine of Cups here and the Queen of Pentacles to take down what is not stable and safe and secure. Okay? View this as almost like a promissory card. You can bring it down. Don't spend so much time worrying that your hearts are going to be broken. Spend more time worrying about the fact, or thinking about the fact, that your hard work and your energy and your commitment to the safety and the security and the prosperity of your country is going to pay off. That's where your focus needs to be. Come together with your friends, your neighbors, your family members, talk. Keep your focus again on the prize, and you will win. It really is kind of the basic law of manifestation. What you focus on is what you create. And if you're busy focusing on, I hate him, he's destructive, he's destroying us, that's what you're going to get. If your focus is on, we are strong, we can create anew, we can make this a better place, we will make this a better place, it is a better place because of our energy and our thoughts, that's exactly what you accomplish. So that's my reading today on basically keeping your eye on the prize, what you people need to know, as we move forward into July. One other quick statement I want to make, and this is basically just to get it on record in case I'm actually right. As most of you know, I'm not American, I'm Canadian. So as, one viewer said to me, well, at least you're objective because you don't have kind of a pony in the race. And it's true. I mean, I know what I would prefer, but I have no real way to influence that. I don't have a vote. When Doug Jones was running in Alabama, and, it was really dicey and people were really hoping he was going to win, but it didn't look like it was actually going to happen. It looked like there could, every time I saw him on television in the weeks leading up to that election, I kept seeing this great big huge green check mark over his face, kind of the way you see on television when, there's a winner. It's a big huge check mark right over his face. And that became sort of the symbol of how I would understand who was going to, have the power and the energy and get in. So when it was the midterm elections and I would see, the symbol for the Democrats or the words Democrat, same thing. I would see this great big green symbol, green check mark. So after having watched the debates, and I've known this for a while. I may have even be said in one of my other videos. As the energy sits right now, as I am interpreting the energy right now, I believe that you are going to end up with a ticket of Joe Biden president, Kamala Harris vice president. And there's a reason and a brilliance behind this. He can step into office day one and start fixing stuff. She has the energy and the focus and the drive, and she's hard-hitting, and she can make stuff happen. She will be an incredibly active and productive vice president, and her light will not shine under a barrel. It's going to explode. If you people thought that the Obama Biden thing was a really good fit, and you really loved your vice president, because honestly, usually for the most part, your vice presidents kind of hide somewhere. The same thing will happen, but bigger with that ticket. He'll be able to get in there and fix stuff. And she has that sharp analytical mind that is going to make sure that the things that go forward actually get done and go forward. On that note, I also see or sense or feel that Joe Biden will be president for 4 years and 4 years only. At that point, he is going to step down or retire, whatever he's going to do. He's going to leave in good standing, if I'm correct, and I'm reading the energy correct, and she will then run for president and win. And you will then have this really easy transition. You will have had a black vice president and a female vice president, and it will be as smooth as a hot knife through butter to just send her into office for the next 8 years. If you don't agree with me, I'm sorry. Please don't send me a bunch of comments telling me why I'm wrong. This is just an energetic prediction for your country's sake. However it turns out, I hope that it turns out wonderful. So, thank you very, very much for joining me, for subscribing, for liking. I adore your comments, the donations. Thank you so much. Take care, be well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.